This is ridiculous. I need to get this done. I feel like I'm waffling so much that nothing is making sense. Flopping everywhere. Ta-da! Figuring it out as I go. That sounds very dramatic. This sort of size. I'm not a professional. Ah! It's fine. We have to laugh about it because we don't want to cry. Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan and I'm the owner of a small business called Fauna, and in today's video I'm going to be carrying on tackling my fabric storage and trying to get my office and studio organised because it's chaotic. There's stuff all over the place, nowhere really has a set space, so I've been working away on my studio makeover and trying to put things away and make things a lot easier to navigate around my office. So this is kind of like a part 2 because in last week's vlog we did start this process, so this is the rest of the clips because that video was getting really long. So if you haven't checked that one out, I would recommend checking it out after this one. It doesn't really have to be in any form of order, but before I ramble on too much, let's get into it. Right, I've got all my satin fabrics here. Ugh. Not all of them are part of my collection. Some of them are like duds in terms of I ordered them and they weren't the right colour. So I thought, just get it over with. Make some boards. So this video, I watched it briefly last night and I've just got it up now because there's some foam boards in that and she has measurements on it. So I'm just gonna get it over with. I'm gonna force myself to just make some, tackle the satins, and that's then a bunch done. We'll see if I can figure out how I want them folded, if they're gonna look right on these boards, etc, etc. Annoyingly enough, I've just put my cutting mats away yesterday. They're in this, they're like behind at the back, and then there's a bunch of stuff in this gap here where my feet would go if I was using it as a desk. So I should just get the cutting mat out really. I'm gonna have to anyway if I'm gonna cut these. So this is why we need to just do it and get it over with because I can't get to anything currently. Nothing has a proper space. I'm currently wedged between two things, but I can't move anywhere else because there's stuff everywhere. All the fabric's down there on the floor, so I can't roll my new island that way or push it that way because the wall's there. I can't move this out of the way because the camera is there and then all the fabric stuff's there. So I don't know how I'm gonna get all this out. It's fine, we have to laugh about it because we don't want to cry.
This is not inappropriate.
Okay, I've got them out. Can I get them up here? Sorry if I've moved you guys. I am working with a very interesting amount of space. Might use my old cutting mat. What did I say? 10 by 14. Am I gonna have to watch the video again?
Is the large, measuring 10 by 14.
Thanks, hon.
10 by 14.
I kind of want to get as many as I can out of this. 26.5-ish. 13.25-ish. Wait, what? What? No, Jesus. 16.5-ish. So half of that is 8.25-ish. About there. Yeah. Should I just cut one? I think I'm just going to end up fanning about if I don't. But there-ish. Ish. I need a longer ruler. Ooh. I'm considering attempting to round the corners a little bit just so it doesn't snag on any of the fabric. Okay, one cut. Way to keep that in place, and most people pin it, but I cannot get along with pins. No matter how new, sharp, whatever the pins are, it just rips the fabric. No matter how delicate I try and do it, it just leaves holes. I'm like, how? I don't want to peg it either because then that's extra bulk, but there's one. That's only a little bit of fabric, so let's see if I can get this to work for a bigger bit. I desperately need to learn how to fold fabric because as you can tell I am not good at it. But if I start looking into that now, I'm just going to end up fannying about again and it's not going to get done at all, so we'll deal with that another day. 2 down. Let me crack on with the rest, I guess. I feel like it's going to take me absolutely hours because I've got to cut all the boards down first. It would be a lot easier obviously if I had a bigger space, but currently I've just got this little bit of space and that's fine. Oh my god, I literally cannot move in this outfit. This is how I look in so far. Sorry, the lighting sucks. It's pitch black outside, so there's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately, but that's how many we've done so far. They're not all the same size. Some of them are smaller pieces, but I thought just screw it, just get some fabric on some boards. So I am. That's really heavy, weirdly enough. I do still have a bunch left to go. This is taking forever. I think the fact that I have no space to do this in is not good. I don't even know what time it is. I need to at least get the satins done, at least. But I made a bunch of boards and I had to stop because cutting them and stuff was really hurting my hands and giving me blisters, but that was the last of the ones I've pre-cut, so I need to make some more. Annoyingly enough though, this is pretty much all the boards that I've got left, which is going to be nowhere near enough for what I need, but let's not overthink that. Let's make some more boards, do the rest, and we'll go from there. It's like 8 p.m. I had to stop because I was struggling, my eyes were stinging, and I'm also pretty much out of foam board. It's not foam board, Corex board. I do still have a few pieces, I'm just not sure where they are because with this whole studio makeover process, stuff's been put all over the house. So I'm pretty sure I do have a few more boards somewhere, but for now my little stack only now consists of one piece left and one of these little bitty ones that I cut. So I'm using this one as a template to fold up some of the smaller pieces I have, which I'll show you shortly. But I didn't want to use up this piece just yet, just in case I don't actually have any more boards left. I'm pretty sure I do, but just in case, so I can potentially reorder some more. So this is what I've got left of that little stack that I showed you. But you may or may not be able to see, hopefully you can see, it looks like you can see, I have started folding a bunch of the fabric onto different fabric boards. So we've got this sort of size. They're not a specific size. I didn't research what size fabric was supposed to be folded into. I just wanted to utilise the boards that I had as much as possible. So the bigger ones were just cut in half, and then these ones I cut the boards into 3. So far this is one of my little piles here, and then these ones are quite a bit bigger. This piece was a little bit too big I think for one of these boards, but it's fine. So I've got these ones as well, which are the bigger boards, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to keep these on this. I may do, I may not do, but these are my smaller satin pieces. So I've obviously used some of this fabric, cut it down, and this is what's left, and then the rest are on here. It's really heavy, but it's going to make it so much easier to actually just look inside my Calyx units and just pull out the colours I need. They should all fit perfectly in this, really. A lot of these are colours that I don't usually stock, but they are going to get used eventually on other projects and stuff, maybe just some different types of scrunchies and stuff, but then I'll show you the little ones that we've folded so far. Hopefully you can see here I have started folding up these little bits of fabric. Because they're all at different sizes, they're not the exact same size, but I've got a few pieces there, a few pieces here, just of remnants. It's not exactly remnants, but smaller pieces, just of my pattern pieces and stuff. So I'm considering using these to store some fabric that way. Not 100% decided yet, but this whole area is a work in progress, so there's going to be more building work and unit making that's going to go down in that area, so that's potentially temporary. And this is what we have left. So there is a little mix of smaller pieces, 1 metre or 2 metres, but then a lot of it we have quite a few meters. It's quite thick, it's quite heavy, so I do still need to go through all that, figure out how I want to store my even bigger pieces. I could potentially use like a full board for it, but I'm not really sure yet. So this is still stuff we need to tackle. I've obviously, there's Koshka, I've obviously made an absolute mess cutting up the boards and stuff, and then finally I still have all my scraps I need to go through, and all this I still need to go through. I've just had a quick glance through it and I can see straight away that some of these pieces will be perfect to go in other areas, so places I've just shown you, or folded up in the same ways as the ones we've already done. But then a lot of it is crumbs and scraps and stuff, but I'm not going to deal with that today. What I am going to do is bag each of these up into colours in this sort of Ziploc baggie here. Eventually I will go through it all, hopefully cut certain things down to size, trim them all, prep them for maybe quilting or other projects, I'm not really sure. So what I'm going to aim to tackle for the rest of the night is getting all these in bags, which will only take a second, and going through this and deciding which pieces I may want to trim down to like a specific square size or something. Are they called cake layers? Or I don't know. I'm not a quilter, guys, so sorry if I'm like offending quilters or anyone who's watching this. I'm not a professional. I just like to collect fabric and I make stuff with it occasionally. So I might go through and see which pieces are good enough to go in these here. I still have these storage bins here that I would like to use, but those are the two things I'm going to aim to get done tonight. And that's probably going to be it for tonight in terms of the fabric storage, which I'm kind of, well, I am gutted about it. I really wanted to get this whole thing done this weekend because I want to start sewing and doing projects and getting back into the swing of things tomorrow morning. But the theme of this year and the running idea that I'm going to try and stick to is that it's okay not to put pressure on myself if I don't complete certain tasks. It's okay. And I'm still not feeling great. I'm not 100%. It's just this stupid cold and head cold that I've got, and you get worse in the evenings and stuff. I've not taken on a big project. That sounds very dramatic, but I think this was a bigger project than I thought it was going to be. I knew I had a lot of fabric, but I didn't quite realise how long this would take because I've never done it before. I've also had a lot of other things to do, so I think I've done about 5 hours today on this situation. So I underestimated how long the whole process was going to take, and it's fine, but we are getting closer. Every bit of progress is one step closer to it being done, and that's great. So I think if I can get that done for tonight and then get a bunch of it just popped away for now, then we have made some progress, and that is all I can do and all I can ask for myself. So there's no point in stressing over it. So I have popped some dinner on, maybe take this downstairs and just slowly work my way through it and just have a chilled out evening before it ends up getting too late. Okay, so it's now Tuesday. I don't think I've really filmed anything for this video for the last couple of days. I know my plan was to get it done over the weekend, and then I told myself it's fine if it goes into Monday. It's now Tuesday. Chances of it getting done today, very low, so I'm really sorry about that. I've still not been feeling great, and I have just been getting on with it, and it's taken a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, mostly because the fabric folding and rolling's taken a long time, because everywhere's messy and chaotic. I'm still moving about awkwardly, so that takes time, and because I don't have an exact 100% plan, I'm kind of just figuring it out as I go. I'm changing things up, swapping things out and stuff, so I'm really sorry I haven't filmed much, but I've made some progress. It is getting there. We've got a tiny little pile of fabric over here. We've got the few bags of stuff that I don't want to deal with at this moment in time, and then the rest of it is nearly done. A lot of it still isn't 100% set in stone, and I'm still not quite sure how I'm going to store it or if it's going to stay like that, but a lot of it is folded and somewhat organised, so that is better than nothing. So let's show you where we're up to. Let's get this mess out of the way first. So stuff that I don't want to deal with yet. That's all in there for now. This is all the scrap bits. So I did organise it all into colours, which I'm pretty sure I showed you. This bag is like mixed colours, so if it's got more than 1 or 2 colours and I wasn't really sure which bag to put it in, that's all in that one. We've got browns, neutrals, black, pink, greys, yellows, purples, so they are all in there, which is great. I would still like to go through them in the future, cut them all up into maybe usable pieces, but for now they're all colour coordinated, and I'm considering putting these in one of my Calyx drawer cubby box cube thingies. I was hoping to get rid of them, but it's what I've got for now, and I think these could do with being in a drawer, you know, out of sight, out of mind. So ignoring the state of it, I've just been shoving stuff in it for now just to get it out of the way, but I'm thinking of maybe putting them back in the bottom too and having all of that in there. They have been separated. They're the ones I said I needed to go through. So this is slightly bigger pieces, and this is the smaller pieces of the bigger pieces. I don't know if that makes sense. So again, I need to go through all of that, cut them into usable sizes or better sizes, squares, shapes that are more usable, so rectangles, squares, things like that, and then the remnants can then go in with the scraps. These bits in here is other gubbins, other things that I need to go through and sort, but don't necessarily have a place yet. It's only those 2 top crates. The others are just stacked up high, so it's just those 2 crates with a few bits in, and those are my little crumbs, my little long stringy bits that I'm going to use for stuffing or something, so that could probably go in with this stuff. So that's that. Still got a lot to do and a long way to go, but semi-organised for now. So I think I will just get out one of those cube unit drawer fabric thingies and put those and those in it for now, just to get it out of the way. And then here's a bunch of the fabric that I've been folding. Again, not 100% sure how this situation is going to play out as of yet, but this is a bunch of my pattern fabric that I have started folding. So these things I'd started folding, none of them are the exact same size, but I was originally going to pop these like in here, but now I'm not 100% sure. That probably can still happen, but for now I've just popped them with the other stuff. That is all my smaller bits of satin. I'm not sure how I feel about these boards. I kind of want to use them so I don't waste them now, because I've already cut them obviously, but I'm not really sure, because part of me is thinking if it's only that small amount of fabric, it's probably not needed. I could just fold them like that, but these pieces are a lot smaller than these, so yeah, not sure about that yet. These do fit perfectly in these that way, so I was using this as like a rough guide to fold these, but they're all different sizes. So this one's quite a chunky bit, so I probably won't fold this that way. It'll be more like those ones there. So that's a bunch of those for now. Again, haven't necessarily planned on keeping them all in there. I just folded them to put them up somewhere for now. I do still have 2 more of these. No, I don't. I've got 1 more of these. The 3rd one's there. So that's that stitch. I've got a bunch of fabric that are on boards that are this size in the unit, which I'll show you now. So, ta-da! I really like how this looks. This is kind of a waste of space, so I probably will still utilise this with maybe like, I don't know, crate or a drawer or something. Will that fit? Ooh, no, that won't fix, that won't close. That's the only downside, is because of the hinges and stuff. You lose this like front space, but that's how that's looking. And then this one is all of my satins. It's not 100% full because I don't have many in there at the minute. This isn't a satin. This is just one that I needed to be on that size board but wouldn't fit in that one. A lot of these I don't actually stock. I don't stock this colour, this one, any of these, and this one, because they're ones that I kept getting sent the wrong colour and stuff, but I'm going to use them eventually, so I do need to order a bunch of my satins, but that's all those for now. I guess I don't have any more of these. I thought I had more already in there, but I've not. I've pulled them all out, so that's all those, because I wasn't sure how to store these. Not figured it out yet, but hopefully it'll all go in these units eventually. Then finally we have this shit show. So what I actually did with these is I put cardboard boxes inside them, so whenever I've had stuff arrive, like packages or whatever, I've been collecting cardboard boxes and different things, so I kind of just taped them somewhat flush and together just to add a bit more structure to them, and I've used them, which is a good idea, but I think I've done them too big. Like, they're really wide which isn't bad for bigger bolts of fabric, but I don't buy fabric that's massive. Like, I don't buy huge amounts. There's quite a lot of fabric here, but I think these could do with being a little bit narrower, because I don't mind the bolts being like chunkier. Sorry if this keeps going out of focus, guys. I'm moving around a lot, and I'm sorry if I'm making any of you feel motion sickness. I'll try and keep still, but I don't mind these being thicker, but they're an awkward size and I don't really have anywhere to put these, which isn't good. So there wouldn't necessarily be a bad space, but they're overhanging. They don't quite go flush against the wall. My poor sewing machine is getting squished. Well, yeah, that one is mine at the end. This one is on loan. I do need to give this back. Freya, I'm so sorry, I still have it, but this one was loaned to me and I keep forgetting to take it back. So this one is not mine, but this one is mine, and it's hanging off, squished right against the wall. So yeah, this I think I need to potentially redo these because I do still have space up here. This isn't staying there, it's just out of the way for now, but I could put fabric up there, but these are quite narrow, so those boards would massively overhang, but up there is an option as well. And finally, we've got this little pile. This is still little bits that I've not done anything with yet. That blanket, even though it's going to get turned into something, it's not necessarily part of this whole fabric situation, but this is like faux leather, so I'm not 100% sure as to what I'm going to do with this stuff yet. Probably just fold it. I just ran out of time yesterday before I needed to go to work, so still got that to tackle. But that's it so far in a nutshell. That's where we're up to. I am feeling so much better about the space. It's still a mess, but I'm also trying to be positive this year and just cut myself a little bit of slack and be more proud of the things that I have done in comparison to dwelling on the stuff that I haven't yet achieved or I haven't managed to achieve. And I'm quite bad for setting unrealistic time goals for myself, and my time scales are always quite small for the sheer amount of stuff that I need to do. So even though it's getting quite late on in the day today, I've still managed to get a lot of other things done, personal life stuff. I've been editing, doing computer work, so I'm still achieving a lot. And just because this didn't get done over the weekend, it doesn't mean I failed, and that is completely fine. So I'm gonna go get those cube drawer things, put those away, so it's one more thing done and dusted. I might then tackle that little pile, just get them folded and then put them into another pile over here of this sort of stuff. Maybe clear out another calyx unit drawer to put some of that stuff in for now, and that might then be it for the progress of the fabric stitch for now, I think, because I also have a feeling that when I actually get into sewing and into using the office space again in the studio, I'm going to start to figure out if what I've done so far is good or if I do need to still change it up, because I don't know if it's going to be ergonomical. I always use that word and I actually don't know what it means. I think it's the right word. Like, I don't know if the space is right and it flows well for what I need it to, so it's another reason why everything's not having a 100% set in stone place for now until I start using it and the next lot of projects get done, things like that. So yeah, that's my next point of call, I think, those few things I've just said. So let's get on with that. The fact that that fits perfectly has made, one, me very happy, and two, me slightly worried that that's quite a lot already. So I should probably start using some of this, or I don't know, tackling it, just so I don't then end up with lots more of this all over the studio. But I've done very well to condense it down, so even though I've not got rid of anything, if that makes sense, I've just organised it, because this was all over the studio, so pretty proud. I've not put anything in this one as of yet. I don't think this is going to be suitable storage for the layer cake situation. I've just realised how egg-like I look. I've just thrown my hair back and I look like an egg. Sorry about that, guys. This is not going to be suitable for the layer cake situation, like the pre-cut nice bits of fabric for future projects and stuff. So I don't think that's going to stay there. But I also like symmetry, so because I've got one in there, I've had to put the other one in. We'll deal with that another day. Don't have to think about that right now. But for now, I pop those back in. Before I forget, I'm just going to quickly order these clip things. I needed to come up with a solution of how to clip the fabric in place without using pins. I had this solution in the back of my head, but I couldn't for the life of me find what they were called. I don't know why I struggled so much. I tried Googling so many different things. Eventually I got there. They're just plastic alligator clips. After getting a little bit frustrated because I knew exactly what I wanted, I just didn't know what to type in. I tried clips, I tried using different keywords like fabric and everything, and I couldn't find them until I then got an ad for this item, and I was like, that is what it's called. They're just classed as plastic alligator clip, clear garment clips. I didn't think it would be that difficult to find what these things were called, but this is what I think I'm going to use, so I've managed to find some. So I think on the fabric boards I've just put one at the top, one at the bottom, just then when I'm pulling them in and out they're not going to be like flopping everywhere, if that makes sense. So I'm going to quickly buy some of these before I forget, as well as some corner protector edging things, I don't really know what to call them, like decorative things to go on the edge of my new island to stop the vinyl trim from peeling off, because we are seeing a bit of peel already. I'm just going to go with like L-shaped brackets on the side. Haven't decided which ones I'm going to buy yet actually. I might do that first. I might finish my cup of tea, choose some to go with, and then carry on. I'm really procrastinating today, aren't I? It turns out these fit perfectly in some of these cubby holes. Annoyingly enough, they're not all symmetrical, is probably not the right word, but they're not all exactly the same width, which is annoying. It's the same with my scrunchy wall, but it's fine, but they fit in this one. So I've popped them in there for now. I've added some more folded fabrics up there, just so they're done and out of the way. They're not on boards, but they're folded and organised. That one we've already seen. That one you've already seen. I'm sorry about the glare, but this one you've sort of seen. I'm not sure if it's going to stay like this. To have it the other way makes more sense because I'm not wasting this space, but then I can't see what's in these. So again, a work in progress, but I've got that going on in there for now. And then we've got this going on in here for now. So probably not going to stay like this. These are definitely not going to stay there, but it's folded, it's organised, it's fine, it's away. So that's a weight off my shoulder having that done. And I'm considering just powering through and starting to go through all those scraps down there, because as tempted as I am to actually start making stuff and getting back into the swing of things, I think if I put it off and don't do it, we're just going to end up back to where we were, completely unorganised, especially because this isn't 100% done. So I'm thinking of just powering through, getting out my cutting mat, seeing what we can make in terms of like sizes, and if we can make those layer cakes, or if we can make some scrap pieces that are going to be the right size for wristlets or scrunchies. I'm not really sure yet, so I think I'm just going to do it. I've not got much time left before I need to go to work, so I'm going to use it wisely. Just crack on. So I've just found the information about fabric measurements, because I watch so many people on YouTube make stuff and they refer to certain things as certain things, and I didn't know what those measurements were, so I've just tried to educate myself. So you've got sweet 16th, fat 8th, fat quarter, quarter yard, honey bun, jelly roll, charm packs, layer cake, half yard, 1 yard, etc, etc, and then obviously each of the measurements. So the layer cakes are 10 by 10 squares, so that's, I'm going to assume, inches. And Alex always laughs at me because when I measure stuff I tend to go for inches, because the inches are bigger, so easier to see on a measuring tape, and instead of it being like 100 and something centimeters, it's just a smaller number and stuff. But then when it goes to anything less than 0.5 or half, so like 21.5 inches, anytime it goes past that, I'm like, it just goes. So centimeters, I guess you could be a little bit more precise, I'm not really sure, but this is where it confuses me. So this says 41 1/2 and a like, yeah, what, when it's like 3/8 of an inch and a bit, and I'm like, what? The measurement side of things really confuses me sometimes. So I think if I was to cut this down for quilting, layer cake charms, so like when people buy charm packs, and mini charm packs, which is just half of that, so 2.5. Oh, they're all sort of half of each other. Layer cake's 10, charm is 5, mini charms 2.5. That's pretty easy. So there is a chance that some of these might end up being layer cakes. Some of them might be cut into strips for wristlets or scrunchies. I'm not 100% sure as of yet, but I'm not going to aim to cut them right down. So say, well, the biggest measurement there that I've just said out of those 3 is a layer cake 10 by 10. I'm not going to cut them right down just to get those, hello? So I'm not necessarily going to go out of my way to cut them right down to that size. It's just if they're close to that size, that's what I'm going to cut it to. Does that make sense? I've not got long before I need to leave for work, so I'm going to pop my headphones on. We'll see what we can cut. This is the first pile, so this is the larger lot out of the 2 piles. I feel like I'm waffling so much that nothing is making sense. I'm gonna have to leave it there because if I don't leave like now, I'm gonna be late for work. But I've managed to get a few of those layer cake thingies, some other like rectangle pieces. I've got some wristlets pre-cut. We've got a bunch more little scrappy pieces that I will cut down even more. And I don't know if you would have been able to see from the time lapse, but any of the slightly longer pieces I've been folding up and popping with the other pieces there. They're all completely different sizes. If I had the time, I would be folding them up precisely the same size so they could all get like stacked together, but for now I'm just getting them to roughly this size and putting them in here. But I'm gonna have to go, so chances are this video is gonna go into another day. It's gonna take me even longer, but that is fine. So before I'm late for work, I'm gonna say goodbye and I'll catch you guys soon. What is going on here? Is this like where my hair's like snapped off and this is just the new length of it, or is this the next generation of baby hairs that's just like grown out? Ignore that, I'm trying to add a little bit of a curl to my hair. But it's pretty late. I think it's already gone 9 p.m. and I'm back from work. I've had my dinner. I think I said earlier that I was going to take this into tomorrow, but then I remembered I'm at the hospital tomorrow and there is a chance my appointment could take hours. I'm going to be somewhat visually impaired, so even if my appointment doesn't take that long, I don't know what my eyesight's going to be like, so I might not be able to do any of this tomorrow. So I've come back in the studio and I'm going to do a little bit more tonight, just so then it's not Thursday, Friday plus by the time this is done. So if I can get a little bit more done tonight, that's great. So just like earlier, I'm going to pop on a podcast or a YouTube video, something, chill out, cut some fabric, fold and organise as we go, because I need to get this done. But I also don't want to be going to bed quite late, so we'll see what we can get done in maybe like 40 minutes or so. Hello guys, I am very barefaced and very sensitive eyes. I'm absolutely exhausted, which doesn't help, but this clip could have gone one or two ways. I might have to put these glasses down. I'm being a bit dramatic, I know, but this looks ridiculous. I have been to the hospital this morning for some tests on my eyes. It's quite a common test. There's probably a lot of viewers who have had it done, but I have really sensitive eyes. Long story short, something came up on my eye scans when I went to the optician, so I had to go for a referral to have like other tests done, and it's where they put them they put them drops in your eyes that make your eyes go really funny, just so they can see your eyes better, and mine feel so sensitive. they ache a little bit, everything's a little bit blurry, so I can't drive or anything, but thank God everything came back normal. My eyes are fine. My optic nerves are fine, thank God. I'm not gonna lie, I have been stressing about it quite a lot, which is why I didn't really talk about it at any point in the vlog. But my eyes are good. They're not currently good because the drops have affected my eyes quite a bit, so it's made me a bit so that's another reason why I said last night I might not be able to do anything today, because I don't know how my eyes are going to react to that, because some people it barely affects them. I'm not in work later on because you're not allowed to drive once you've had this done. There was someone in the chair next to me and the nurse was like, right, well, you've driven here today. It is illegal for you to get in your car, so we now can't do this test. You're going to have to get it rescheduled and do it another day because it's illegal. You're not allowed to get into your car. And I was like, luckily a couple of friends of mine took me to my appointment and brought me home, so a huge thank you to them because I wouldn't have been able to have done it without. But that was a long babble thing. Sorry, I feel stupid putting these sunglasses on, but my eyes are really sensitive. I feel like I'm being so dramatic. Like, I feel like I can't open my eyes properly. But I just jumped on to say I've had a couple of things arrive that is relevant to the video, not just me babbling about the fact I've got dramatic eyes that are hurting. But the first thing is some corner protectors. I'm pretty sure I mentioned these in the video. This is ridiculous. I should just leave this till tomorrow really, but I'm just chatting away with sunglasses on. But if I didn't mention these in the video, long story short, I wanted some corner protector thingamabobs for the new cutting island situation, just because the vinyl trim that I've put on is already starting to peel in some places, so that should hopefully keep it from doing that. There's quite a few options, but I just went with some cheap ones, I'm not gonna lie. So these are like an antique style, I think it's a bird, I don't know, I can't really see it, but it's just like a little corner bracket, because I was considering, shit, I threw it. I cannot see for the life of me where that went. I'll find it at some point. But so I'm just gonna screw these into the corner, not today obviously, just to keep that vinyl from peeling. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is the little clips, the little pins that are gonna hold the fabric in place. Little clips. This is how I was thinking of using these. So I don't necessarily need them on the smaller pieces like this, but on the bigger piece I'll probably just put one at the top and one at the bottom. Don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. This is like the only licensed fabric I have, and I have no idea where it came from, no idea how it's ended up in my collection, but I've had it for years, so this will never get used for anything to sell. I'd probably just use it as like a liner on a personal project, but it's a little Winnie the Pooh. But yeah, just to help hold it in place, so when you're dragging them out like that, they're not all unrolling and flopping about everywhere. So glad those have arrived. That was a long clip to basically tell you I've been to hospital, I'm okay, and I've had some parcels arrive, so that's that. But ignoring all the gubbins that's on my desk, this is pretty much the fabric that I've got left. So these are all the pieces that are in like squares. I didn't cut them all up into 10 by 10. Some of them are, but they're just bigger squares. Some of them are a lot bigger than 10 by 10. Some of them are a tiny bit smaller. Those pieces are slightly bigger rectangle pieces. Then these are like smaller squares or smaller rectangles. Some of these I've cut into wristlet shape, so these need to go away with like my wristlet pre-cut strips, and they're the pre-cut scrunchy strips. So I'm like pretty much done, which is great, apart from the bits over there that I didn't want to touch and this that still needs to go away. So that's great. I'm really happy with that. I do still need to go through all of the fabric scrap bags because they're getting quite full, and like cut all the little pieces up and stuff. I don't have to, I guess, but I think it'll save me time then doing it in the future if I want to then turn them into like projects and stuff. So I do need to do that, and then I can cut off all the extra niggly naff stringy bits, and that can go in the bag for stuffing and stuff. So yeah, I'm feeling so much better. One, because I'm relieved that my eyes are fine, and two, because my studio's slowly getting closer to being done and I can actually start using it and making stuff again, and yeah, it feels good. So there you have it. That is all of my fabric somewhat organised for now. It is a temporary-ish solution. I'm just glad that we've managed to tackle a bunch of it, organise a bunch of it and get a load of it away, because it was just everywhere. There is still a lot of areas to improve on and things I'm probably going to change up as I continue to work on my studio space, but I hope that you enjoyed it either way. If you could give this video a massive thumbs up, leave me a comment down below and subscribe if you haven't. All the social media, the website, everything for Fauna Rose is linked down below, including my family membership. So if you want to subscribe for extra content and behind the scenes and things like that, that is over on my Buy Me a Coffee page, so the link for that is down below, which leads me on to thank my wonderful family members. So guys, thank you so much for all of your support. You guys are my backbone behind the small business. I couldn't do any of it without you, so thank you guys so much. But apart from that, I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!